There's 7, and the term comes up 7 times. So like, there's recordings of him actually acknowledging that this event happened. Oh, we put it out. He also apologized for not pills were. He never came back to her on what those pills were.
A 0 chance Fnatic reverses his opinion. This ship is this ship is sailed.
I'm not saying that the prosecutor was responsible for trying to did a good job. Apparently, he's not. Otherwise, he'd be still there.
That guy was like a prolific rapist and killer too. Are you gonna be able to support him moving forward? Listen to the crowd song and
There's a chicken food active. Oh, so I can still chicken breast. Okay, so then I just need buckets and empty pots. Pots. Oh, what if I just had the buckets? Wouldn't that make life so fucking easy?
Depend on, it's why to say that he's guilty is testimony, and then submission through testimony of that. You didn't read that freaking deposition. You don't know what the freak you're talking about. You don't know what Quaaludes are. You don't know what the
did read about it several times.
Okay.
is there any evidence that Cosby raped people?
There's lots of testimony from lots of women, but I didn't look into it exactly. I doubt there's any forensics. Most of this stuff happened like 20 years ago, right?
So how does that work in that case when there's like 0 forensic evidence, 0 evidence, and it's entirely testimonial based? Can you get a conviction? I mean, I guess that happened.
I have no idea. Is that good question?
Shouldn't a judge like let's say me and 20 people all got together and said that you did something that you didn't do, but like they couldn't. Could we like literally get you convicted just on saying that we saw you do something?
Well, I think he admitted to something in some past testimony, but that stuff I think was supposed to be inadmissible because of the immunity deal he had. But...
So in that case, though, would you be able to? Do you think in that case should a judge overrule a jury verdict? Like for instance, if the
probably never overrule a jury verdict. That's why we do trial by jury, right?
Well, no, I think it's okay for a judge to overrule a jury verdict if the jury says that you're guilty but I don't think it should ever be the other way. Never the other way. But I think it's fine for a judge to say, hey, you guys found him guilty, but you're dumb. Because there can be biases from a jury.
But that's not for a judge to decide. That's the process, right?
Well, I mean, why is there not a thing for? Maybe this is from the movies. I don't think it is. But at the end of a trial, a jury comes back, and then a lawyer will say, "Motion to set aside the jury verdict," and you know, sometimes they would do that.
I think for that, don't you
really like top fucking notch? But those guys were like especially, you know.
Hold on, I'm watching it. Rice.
Hi.
Oh, they're playing basketball in the 4th. I don't know. Yeah, I think so.
If a girl gets raped, should she call the cop? And then Hassan said no.
I thought it was kind of just mean.
I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at. Am I having an ADHD attack? Whose stream is this? Is this Pokemon's and Miskip's stream, or is this Rice Gum's? It must be them watching Rice Gum.
I'll be right back.
Who the fuck are we watching? Okay. They're not talking about anything happening in here, but Poke's watching. Okay. Why wouldn't you just link me the clip of Rice Gum stream talking about this? It sounds like they're not even talking about. It's Poke watching Rice watching Hassan. You were being reacted to? I don't know how many layers deep we are.
Basketball in the 4th. I don't know.
Jesus Christ.
So I'm wondering now, Stephen, we have a big question, and the question is like, how do you know you're compatible?
Compatible how?
I
Like
guess
for
what
a
you're doing with
relationship
Melina.
or fucking
Yeah.
somebody or marrying somebody or
Whatever you and Melina got, just like for you and Melina.
I mean, everybody
someone
has
wanted
like
that.
different thresholds for what, like, I don't know. Everybody looks for different shit in relationships. For me personally, I can tell if I like somebody if I'm willing to invest any amount of time in them. So if I'm willing to like take like hours off of streaming or days to go travel somewhere or whatever, I only do that for people that I super care about. And I still feel that way about Melina, even though we've been together for like 2 or 3 years. So I probably love her more than anybody else I can think of. So
Probably love.
probably. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm doing it from Dan's place because he loves D&D. Yeah.
Poggers. It's 4th of July Independence Day.
Yes. You should know. Like your favorite holiday of the year, right?
It's not a big deal, mate. Who knows?
You've lost so many colonies. How can you keep track of them all?
Listen. Like, if you read into it, right, the only reason that England didn't win the war against America was because there was a rebellion in India at the time. There was a rebellion in India at the time, and that felt like that was a much more important thing to lose. So most of our resources were there.
That's the propaganda that they've been telling us.
It's not propaganda. No. Listen, if anyone's school system is full of propaganda, it's yours, not mine.
Right. The
Yeah.
British education system has no propaganda in it whatsoever.
Yeah.
You know why the
Americans
pyramids
won
are
the
in
World
Egypt?
Wars.
You know why the pyramids are in Egypt, Nick?
Right.
They're too big for the British to carry them.
That's a good one. It's also true.
Alright.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, right, but
See you guys later. Peace out.
Her name from is strawberry.
Roll a hot. Now we gotta roll a hot.
Yeah,
Her name is Strawberry Quavo.
Her hot is 6 plus a 2 plus a 5 is a 12.
Above average.
No. 6 and 2 is 8 and 5 is 13. Is the upper end of average.
Okay. Strawberry. Cleric of Vengeance. How's it going?
Honest. I can double check. You can make a wisdom check if you really think that I'm lying to you here, but everything seems to be on the up and up. Yeah.
Alright, he'll take the dragon armor. He'll ask her if she's heard from any of the towns. How are the other clerics doing? Or the priests doing?
We have had just 2 correspondents from the closest areas. The other clerics are settling in quite nicely between Fenton and Grumpert, and the priests in Thicklade and Berkshire are doing well in their new homes. They are.
And the new warriors
We
in
are
this
bidding.
Still other
Training
settings?
is. Yes. Lord Winthrop is a fantastic teacher, and our men are learning. They are dedicating their heart and soul to the process, but I would hesitate before I took the field.
Impugn on them that it is their one and only task is to learn how to be the best fighter they ever can be. It is Velthara's
wish. It is known that she will require our blood, our sweat, maybe even our very lives. Each of us are dedicated to this task.
I want 1 week of double punishment. And, I wish that when we were in power, I would do everything I could.
She bows deeply, respectfully. All of you can meet up.
Tyrael, I think that she has not received the letter.
Well, that's good for us then. Okay. I'll go off my head up, talk to my duders, and then anything else here.
I'm gonna be making a trip to Fenden and Grumpburn. I had let them know. Yeah. This won't fuck up my XP, right?
Nope, that's fine. This is, you get in your carriage, your servants drive you around, you go stop and talk to the priest here, cleric there. I'm just going to do a quick once-over on all of that. It appears they're settling in nice and neat, each of the individual towns. It welcomes the money, welcomes the additional hands to help to do this, and, it's going as smoothly as one could possibly expect. Possibly go for.
Yes.
What are you doing during this period of downtime while I tally up XP?
I'm going to be learning some spells. I don't. So, question: if I want to research a spell, but I'm not going to finish it in this setting, is researching a spell like learning a spell, where it has to be continuous study, or can I do a week's worth of research and come back to it?
I think if there are going to be free, it will get drawn out, and we'll have to come up with some mathematical model to figure out how much time away you can do. If you were to work on it for a week and then leave for a year, you'd essentially be starting from scratch again when you got back. But if you do 3 weeks of work and then you're gone for 4 days and then you come back and do the rest, I think there'd be no penalty. So somewhere in that zone, it might not be worth it to just do the first week of research on something that's going to take you 10 weeks if you're going to be working for a couple of weeks in between.
How about every week that he's gone, adds a day or something? Extra?
I'll come up with something. What is your plan?
Just thinking about trying to research a license and learn it. So research, is it 1 to 2 weeks per level, or is it 1 week per level? And then you make a save, and then you make a roll.
Spell level.
It's too long, isn't it?
Yeah, research takes a long time. But my question for you is, isn't that time you can afford?
I don't know. Maybe I'll speak to Tyrion and say, I failed to learn a spell that would allow me to fly without shifting course. Research it myself, but it would take me probably a month, maybe longer.
Anton, is there anything else you wanted to, any conversation you wanted to have, any other information you wanted to tease out of the...
Yeah, he's trying to spread the word after he notices that it's not hitting off. He wants to spread the word about good Velthara and the cleric coming to kill Abraxas in the name of vengeance for the Nomish people.
Cleric of vengeance, huh?
That it is.
So, does that mean you go around getting revenge for people who have been wronged?
I nod. That is correct.
Do you charge for your services?
I usually just take what piques my interest. Kind of like House. You obviously seem like something's on your mind.
Well, my wife,
You know?
she ventilation system last week, and something went wrong.
What happened?
And, well, the gear chassis was a little bit unstable, and the added stress of switching from hempen rope to silken rope wasn't accounted for when they added the weight to the counter lever. So there ended up being a little bit too much thrust on the takeoff, and she overshot her target because this, silk hempen rope. Normally they wait for the weights to get to a certain height when they.
I like
to
wave
let
it
you
off.
know
Like,
how
okay,
much-
that's a little bit too much. Like, too much info. All right, what do you want? I say.
She overshot her target, missed the trampoline landing, and hit the rocks.
Oh, shit.
Broke both of her legs and her pelvis. Bedridden, probably for the rest of her life.
Sucks.
Yeah. I don't know who's responsible for it. I don't know if it was the rope person, or the weight counter, or what. But someone done goofed. Now my wife is crippled.
Well, I'm gonna
We'll
give you
never
some
have
advice.
any more children.
You can handle this vengeance on your own, and I'm gonna tell you how. You ever heard of a thing called an eye for an eye?
No. What's that? Did they make it in Flang? Or is that a human invention?
It's
Is it
saying.
actually two eyeballs attached to one another?
It's more of a saying. It means, if someone messes with you, you go mess with them in the exact same way. So what you need to do is you need to create an invention, and you need to get the guy who created the advanced teleportation machine, and your invention is just gonna break his pelvis and his legs. And you're gonna trick him to get on it.
Would
That's
that I
vengeance
could.
right there.
Would that I could, but like the other gnomes before me, my life quest has already been picked, and I must walk this path, come hell or high water.
What would you do if someone kidnapped you and took you away from this path?
I have no idea.
Well,
There hasn't been a kidnapping except by the dragon. Ever? We don't kidnap here. That's not really.
you have no crime.
Well, my wife's pelvis and legs are broken, but that was an accident. I mean,
Was it?
accident of oversight. Criminal negligence is a crime. But there's not, kidnapping or theft in quite the same ways that I hear you have back there. Is it true that if you leave your money on a table and walk away and come back 6 hours later, someone will take it?
It's true there, and I'm sure it's true here.